Okay, so there is a massive shakeup happening in the real estate world right now. It's a quiet battle over rules, control, and money that could totally change how you buy or sell your next home. And you might not even know it's happening. So, what's really going on?
It all boils down to this one single question. When you're talking about your biggest asset, your home, who gets the final say? Should it be you, the homeowner, or should it be a system of established industry-wide rules? Keep that question in your mind, because it's at the heart of this whole thing. And make no mistake, this isn't some minor disagreement. This is a full-blown industry showdown. It's a conflict that's pitting the established old guard against a new wave of challengers who are questioning the very foundation of how real estate has operated for decades. So let's meet the players. On one side, you have the rule makers, the National Association of Realtors, NAR, and all the local multiple listing services, or MLSs. These are the folks who have basically run the game forever. And on the other side, you've got the challengers, huge brokerages like Compass, Redfin, and Rocket, and they are now publicly demanding a change. So what exactly is this big fight all about? Well, it all centers on one specific rule, a policy that honestly was probably created with the best of intentions. And this is it, the Clear Cooperation Policy, or CCP. Now, the MLS, that's the giant centralized database where pretty much every agent goes to find homes for their clients. The CCP rule is super simple on its face. If an agent markets a home publicly, we're talking a for sale sign on the lawn, a Facebook post, anything, they have exactly one business day to get that listing onto the MLS. And the stated goal here was to make the market more fair and transparent. The whole idea was to make sure every single agent had access to every listing, which in theory gives sellers the biggest possible audience. It was also designed to stop agents from keeping those juicy listings in their pocket, where they only show them to their own clients, which could really limit a seller's options. But here's the twist. You know how sometimes the best laid plans just backfire? Well, in trying to force everyone to cooperate, this rule seems to have done the exact opposite. It created a major unintended problem. The data really tells the story here. Before this Clear Cooperation Policy was put in place, about 4% of listings were what you'd call office exclusives. They were kept off the main market. But after the rule was implemented, that number doubled. It shot up to 8%. The very policy designed to stop secret listings actually created more of them. And here's the reason why, at least according to the brokerages challenging the rule. Sellers who wanted more privacy or maybe a quieter, more controlled way to market their home, they just said, you know what, I'm going to bypass the whole MLS system. So the rule that was supposed to pull listings in actually ended up pushing a lot of them out.
So, all this frustration, it didn't just stay behind closed doors. Oh no, it boiled over into a very public rebellion. These major brokerages didn't just complain, they published a fiery open letter challenging the status quo. And they were crystal clear about what they wanted.
At its core, their argument is pretty simple. The seller's choice has to be respected, period. They're demanding an end to fines for agents who are just doing what their clients ask them to do. They want more flexible options, and they're arguing that the MLS is a great tool, for sure, but it should be seen as just one way to market a home, not the only way. And this letter, wow, it did not pull any punches. They actually named names. They praised organizations like Bright MLS for embracing seller choice, while at the same time directly calling out others like CRMLS for sticking to the old ways and imposing fines. This move basically drew a huge dividing line right down the middle of the industry. And they didn't just call people out. They rallied their own troops. The letter includes this direct call to action for their own agents. They're basically saying, hey, if you get penalized for putting your client first, you need to report it immediately. The message is loud and clear. We've got your back. And this last part of the letter, this is a powerful, powerful promise. It's a pledge of protection. Compass and Redfin are straight up telling their agents that if an MLS comes after them, the brokerage itself will step in to support and defend them. They are drawing a serious line in the sand. Okay, so this is a huge industry fight, lots of drama, but what does it actually mean for you? Let's break down the real-world impact of this whole battle. Well, for home sellers, this could mean way more control over your marketing strategy. You might get options beyond just the standard listed everywhere immediately approach. For real estate agents, it's about getting the freedom to actually follow their clients' wishes without worrying about getting slapped with a fine. And for the industry as a whole, this is a massive challenge to the centralized power the MLS system has held for decades. Which really leaves us with this final critical question. We're seeing this huge demand for more choice, more flexibility. So, Are we witnessing the beginning of the end for the traditional one-size-fits-all approach to selling a home? Only time is going to tell, but the fight is most definitely on.